Mistakes men make while dating. Wow. Wow, what a video this is going to be. Blimey, I wish I had a video like this access to me many years ago. When I was very socially awkward, I had no clue with women. I would go on dates, I'd be super nervous, heart racing out of my chest. And don't get me wrong, being nervous for a date is very normal. But the errors, the mistakes that I made, they're mistakes that I don't want you guys to go through. Of course, mistakes means that we learn from them. But as a wise man once said, a smart man learns from his own mistakes, and a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. There's a few things that I want to go through, a few points that I want to clarify, mistakes that I don't want you guys to make, mistakes that I've made on dates before, and what I find is quite common amongst young men specifically, and just men in general that haven't got as much experience with women. Now, I'm not encouraging you to date loads of women for the sake of it, to sleep with loads of women. We're going to cover that section in this video as well. It's about having standards, it's about setting boundaries. If you're religious and you're waiting for marriage, kudos to you, a lot of respect to you. This video isn't really for you, but of course there are some points you can benefit from. But starting with the first point, and let's get the elephant out of the room, it's actually making your boundaries very clear. Now, I do warn you with this strategy, it's not really a strategy, but with this implementation, you will lose a lot of women. But that's the whole point. You are setting the standard, you are setting the precedent that a woman must adhere to certain rules. If I'm going to date you, if I'm going to spend money on you, if I'm going to spend my free time with you, you have to meet a certain standard. You must acquire to a certain standard, because otherwise I'm wasting my time, you're wasting your time. We're not going to be very compatible going forward. So set the boundary, tell them, and look, not all of our boundaries are going to be the same. There's some red flags that I find, there's some boundaries I find. You make it abundantly clear from the get-go, look babe, these are my standards, this is what you must adhere to. If you're not happy with that, that's absolutely fine, and say goodbye respectfully. The mistake I see guys make a lot of the time is they'll be sat in front of a 9 out of 10, a 7 out of 10 who's absolutely drop dead gorgeous, and they'll drop their pants around their ankles. They get home, they fantasize about her. Oh my god, she's the one. They get one-itis. I can't do better than her. They start putting her on a pedestal. And it's the worst possible thing you can do, because A, it's unattractive. 2, it's going to completely turn her off. And 3, you lose complete and utter self-respect for yourself. You must have some self-esteem. And gentlemen, if you're not at that stage, I wouldn't even recommend dating. If you're at a stage where you don't have any self-worth, I would not even recommend dating, because you're just going to allow the woman to walk all over you. And that's not what you have. You must have integrity. You must have dignity as a young masculine man. And that's not what you should be doing. However, if you do have self-worth and you are dating women, you must set boundaries. You have to set the precedent and say, look, this is how things are going to run. This is what I want to do. If you don't respect that, that's absolutely fine. If you don't agree, that's absolutely fine. But then you're not going to be right for me. If you're allowing any woman to come into your life, if you're sleeping with any woman because you want to increase your notch count, increase your body count, then this channel really isn't for you. I generally don't think, as a man that's got high ambitions, your aim shouldn't be to sleep with as many women as possible. It's not something that I would ever encourage. Personally, not for me. And as high value men, that's not a target that you should be setting. Now, this ties into my second point with what I said initially, but it's about not being too nice. Don't be Mr. Nice Guy. The nice guy of whatever she says, oh babe, I agree with you, absolutely, you're spot on. That's my favourite film too. That's my favourite ice cream. Oh, you're amazing, you're fantastic. You're so scared to tease, you're so scared to throw in a joke, you're so scared to be cheeky, because you might be confronted with, oh, that's not very nice, and she might storm off and walk off and never see her again. You're so afraid of losing her that you never throw in a joke. You're so compliant. You're just such a nice guy, and there's a reason why nice guys finish last. There is a big reason why they finish last, because again, they have no standards, they have no boundaries, they don't set the precedent, they're too scared to make a flirtatious comment, they're too scared to be cheeky. You're boring and you're too nice. And what nice guys tend to be associated with is weaklings. It means that in the situation of confrontation or violence, she is going to assume that you're not going to be up to the challenge. She's going to be thinking subconsciously about her offspring. She's going to be thinking, this is not the man, this shouldn't be the father of my children, because he can't even have the confrontation, he can't even have the capability to be violent, he's too nice. Gentlemen, I'm not saying be a prick. That is not what I'm saying at all. But you have to find a balance between setting the boundaries and being nice. You can be nice. The point I'm making is stop being the Mr. Nice Guy. Stop being nice 24/7. That isn't what you should be as a man. That is not the level that you should, so to speak, take for. And another point that I do want to mention going forward is you're broke. You're broke. I made this mistake as well. When I was completely, utterly broke, I was always chasing women. I was continuously chasing women. Like, where am I going to get my next female from? And gentlemen, it's all about having the right priorities in life. I sort of had a bit of a blank moment there. I've cast my mind back to when I was 18, 19, and I was completely and utterly broke. And there's Ken at the age of 19 trying to chase women. It is absolutely ludicrous. And if you're broke, and I'm talking you have no savings, I'm talking you live at home with mummy and daddy, and that's actually a video that I'm going to make tomorrow, is living at home with parents. I've got a big opinion on that. I do want to say my piece on that and get your guys' thoughts on that as well. But you're living at home with parents who've got pretty much no savings, you're unemployed or you're about to be sacked. Your life isn't in order. You have to get your shit together, but you're still thinking about women. Put women to the side. A woman doesn't want a brokey anyway. A woman doesn't want to date a guy that can't afford to pay bills. She doesn't want a guy that has zero ambition. You as a man, you have to be dedicated to yourself. You have to ascertain your purpose. What is your purpose in life? What's your talents? What's your skills? If you haven't got any at the moment, it doesn't mean you're not talented. It just means you haven't discovered your purpose. You have to trial and error. Go through trial and tribulation. You have to try new things. Okay, I'm not very good at that. I've tried that for 3 months. Let me try a new activity. Maybe I'm talented in this. All of us have talents. You just haven't discovered anything yet if you feel as though you're not talented. Ascertain your purpose. What are you good at in life? Aim for that. What do you do effortlessly? And as you fixate on the purpose, as you fixate on self-improvement of, I want to acquire X amount of finances, I want to acquire the best body, I want to be the best version of myself. As you rank up and level up, and as you're so dedicated and laser focused on your mission, the right woman is going to come. God, universe, whatever you want to call it, that higher power will put the person that you need at that time when you need it the most. When you need it. Because if you're single right now, there's a big reason for that. Either you haven't got your shit together, either you're not where you want to be. Listen, brother, you're still at home in a dark room, sitting in mummy and daddy's room, or in your own room, sitting in mummy and daddy's house, Hunchback of Notre Dame, busting nuts all over your chest, watching two people have sex. That is the reality of your life. You're not in shape, or you're not in the shape you're supposed to be. You're not eating clean. You're not studying correctly. You're not working on anything. You haven't got any projects you're working on. You are a fucking bum. And you're sat there and you're going, where's my next date coming from? How am I going to pull women? Brother, you've got your priorities all wrong. Stop making this mistake. If you're broke, you shouldn't even be dating in the first place. And even when you're dating, as I said, set the boundaries, set the standards. Your aim shouldn't be, I want to sleep with as many women as possible. That should never be your aim. Once you've reached a certain level, you're going to have women chasing you left, right and centre. And then it's up to you. It's your prerogative. You're entitled to do whatever you want. If you want to sleep with all of them, by all means go for it. It's not something I'd encourage. Be selective. When you're selective, it's even more attractive. They want to sleep with you even more when you're selective. If you're picking any woman that you're seeing on the street, you're thinking any hole's a goal. If that's your mentality, well then not only is it unattractive and you're risking chance of STDs, but you don't have much self-worth. You don't have much standards. It's about setting the boundaries as a high value man, having the standards. And if you're broke, you shouldn't even be thinking about women. It should be the last thing on your mind. I hope that was beneficial for you, gentlemen. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.